Hey everyone, Eric Meehan here. It is time for another message in the bottle video, and it is October 2nd, by the way. Mostly it is a nothing day biodynamically, but it happens that it is going to be from about 6 o'clock to around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, if that's where you're watching this, or you can do the math for yourself. Going to be a flower moment, and that is kind of fortuitous because that's probably when a lot of you are going to be wanting to consume a nice beverage for the evening. So take that as you will. So I have not made a video in a couple days, mostly because of life. But the life was joyous because it included a quick trip down to Boston for my wife and I, with a quick stopover just sort of northeast of Worcester to see some wonderful friends of ours. And I started to think about the part of my Wine 101 class where I talk to people about going out and being served. So we talked a little bit about corkage, right? And I talked about how when they give you the cork, it's not so that you can smell cork, like, it smells like cork. It's so that you can smell a flaw in the cork itself, trichloroanisole being the main culprit there. But what I wanted to kind of go further on is when you are out at a restaurant. This is, I don't want to say it's industry secrets because it's really not a secret, and it's something you should feel comfortable with knowing. That when you go out to a restaurant and you're ordering wine by the glass or wine by the bottle, you are paying on average 2 to 3 times what you'd pay retail for the bottle and the glass pours, depending on what deals or whatever the restaurant has worked out. And don't get me wrong, retailers, we work out deals with people all the time as well to make a little bit more money here and a little, to make up. So I'm not trying to point fingers, but it is essentially accepted that when you go to a restaurant, you're paying 2 to 3 times what you pay in retail. There you go. So that being said, when they hand you the cork and you smell something off, do not hesitate to say, this doesn't smell right, can you please open another bottle? Because we, as the third tier, as we explained in another one of our videos about the tier system here in Maine, but basically all around, it's built into the business model that you're going to have some bad bottles, and we, as the purchasers, can return things up the system if we choose, and the people up the system can do that, and they can write it off. So there's ways that it gets dealt with so that you don't have to drink something that you're not thinking is entirely there. Same goes for one of the more popular things in restaurants, which is a glass pour, right? So they'll come to you, you'll probably have like a half full bottle, right? Because they've already poured a couple glasses, and they'll pour you some. And if you're thinking, well, there's been quite a lot of oxygen in there, maybe, something's not quite right, this or that. It's not that it's not quite right. Let me rephrase that. It's that it's not as fresh and vibrant because the amount of oxygen to the amount of liquid, it's slowly sapping away some of the vibrancy of that wine. This is just the truth. Wine is a volatile liquid, and it does change because of chemistry. So if you... It's not... Don't be afraid, especially if like most of the bottle is gone and it's a glass pour they brought over from the bar. Say, would you mind pouring me a glass off a fresh bottle, provided they have it? Don't be afraid to do that because probably, again, this is not really a secret, but it's, the glass pour cost to you, the price, probably pays for that bottle, okay? So the cost of the bottle to the restaurant or bar or whatever will be probably the equivalent of a glass pour, maybe a glass and a half, depending on the wine. But the point is, if you have a glass of wine and pay for it, and you like it, you'll probably have 2 glasses. And 2 glasses on a glass pour, I can't imagine that there's a restaurant in the US or elsewhere that is pouring glass pours where the bottle costs at least 2 glasses worth of the actual serving with the serving price. Meaning, don't be afraid to say, hey, can you get me something fresher, because the chances are you will end up spending more money, which is good for them, and you'll be happier. So don't feel bad about it. Feel good about the fact that you enjoy wine and you're like, this is not... Now, listen, if you don't like the wine, it's a glass pour, it's fine. That's not what I'm talking about. But if the wine is old, if it's oxidized, not on purpose, or if something's funky, don't be afraid to say, hey, this isn't right. Would you mind please opening up something new, opening a new bottle for us for the table, opening a new bottle for the glass pour, because the restaurant is probably, provided the wine is good and you like it, and all, they're probably going to be made better by you doing that. It's actually a favor to them too. That sounds shocking, but honestly, when you have good product, aren't you more likely to revisit that product later? Meaning product, meaning the whole restaurant, meaning my store, meaning the bottle of wine. You're more likely, if you're contented, to spend more money. That's good for them. And ultimately, it's good for you because you're happy about it. So, food for thought, as it were, on going out to restaurants and buying wine. Talk to you next time on the Message in the Bottle series.